What's up, y'all? I'm back at you again with some good, interesting topics. Hoping y'all love it. Hoping whatever I put down right now make you want to go subscribe, hit the like button, let me know you was doing your thing, or let me know I was doing my thing, when you was watching. But what I'm talking about today is about where black people stand. And, up front, I'm not a spokesman for black people, but, I'm black, so I tend to have a good grasp on what's going on in our community. So basically, you got some black people on the side of, they just consume with other things like sports and, Harden joining the Clippers. Shout out to the Clippers. That's my team. And there's nothing wrong with that. Reality TV show, No Jumper, what Crip Mac is doing. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. But you got, even those black people are kind of edging to like, well, why am I seeing so much about this? And it seems like you see black people at these protests and everything like that, and they're getting arrested, and then, Black Lives Matter is with Palestine, and for a lot of people, they're wondering like, what is all this about? And a lot of people don't even understand what's going on over there. But I just kind of took it from the perspective of the Palestinian people and the black people kind of standing together a little bit. It looks like way more than the Jewish people and the blacks are standing together. So, I was kind of interested myself, like, well, why is that? And so I did a little research myself, and maybe you could, check it out and see what you think.
Really going back to the 1960s, black Americans have felt a kindred sense of solidarity with Palestinians. And so even today, decades later, we've seen recent protests about Gaza, many black activists and other people in support of the Palestinians because they see themselves as part of a global struggle of marginalized people fighting against systems of oppression that are backed by the United States. And I think Palestinians have embraced that, including in the slogan that I've seen that says, "We can't breathe since 1948.
We can go back to Kwame Ture, a.k.a. Stokely Carmichael, and Angela Davis, and the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee in the U.S., but of course Desmond Tutu and Nelson Mandela, and leaders across the African nations. For me, the Black Lives Matter movement has been very deliberate about making the Black Lives Matter movement a global struggle, a global social justice movement, which then kind of portrays this principle that our liberation here in the United States of America, the liberation of black people, is bound up with the liberation of people all over the world. And so when black people are in the streets, when black people are raising their voices in the United States as a continuation of a civil and human rights movement, if people start paying attention, and that's why I always say when black people are free, we're all going to be free, is seen through the lens of also the economy and watching the military aid that we send to the state of Israel. When I'm in protest around issues of police brutality or even racial justice issue, economic justice issues, we're fighting and saying we need health care for all Americans and all those who reside in the United States. We need access to high quality public education across this country for every child, regardless of their zip code. And we need to open more hospitals and more clinics. And especially in light of a global pandemic that we're in, our government often tells us we are idealistic. We don't have these kind of resources. But we apparently have $10 million that we send to the state of Israel every day to occupy and dispossess and really terrorize the Palestinian people. And that, for me, is how I kind of come into the movement and saying, listen, we need to make these connections. There's also the incarceration connection. Some of these same for-profit incarceration, for-profit prison companies that incarcerate black and brown people in the United States and make money off of them are the same companies that profit off of the incarceration of Palestinians in the West Bank and also within Israel. Companies like G4S.
Sort of the progression of the civil rights movement into where we are now with Black Lives Matter movement. This is Muhammad Ali, I believe this is 1970, visiting Palestinians in a Lebanese refugee camp. Then we fast forward George Floyd murals from around Palestine. Rest in peace, Big Floyd. This is remarkable. And then I'm just going to end here Mark, on your Instagram, and you shared a portrait of George Floyd hanging in Gaza City. Where are we now? Where does this solidarity get?
Dang, they had Muhammad Ali over there, and then that George Floyd thing is pretty recent, and they had murals of him. Not the, if you're a George Floyd person, whether he was right or wrong, or whatever, whatever. But the fact of it is they really feeling black people struggle over there. I mean, I'm not saying you have to have that, but in Israel, I have never seen any pictures of any black anybody. And then I've always heard that like the black population over there doesn't get treated too well. So I'm not trying to make anybody's mind up on what side to go with, or even if you should care or whatever. This is just pretty interesting information to me. And, you got your choice on whether you want to go that side, or like I said, stay neutral. But there's a lot of protests going on right now, and it seems like if you speak against what's going on over there, which I believe they said it was like 12 or 1,300 Israeli people were killed that first day. I think that was October 7th or October 9th, one of the two. And since then, they've killed like 10,000 Palestinian people. And I get they want their hostages back, but it's got to be a better way, because all 10,000 of those people weren't Hamas fighters. So, I understand, though, you want your get back, but I don't know. I think it's just got to be a better way. But anyways, leave me comments and let me know what you think. Send me a like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. I appreciate if you're subscribing. It helps me out, like I said. And I'll get back to you next time. Peace.